Woke and Ready TV. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. What's good, everybody? Listen, I know y'all gonna hear some snoring in the background. That's my baby girl. You know what I mean? She's knocked out. But right now, I just want to tell my story, man. Again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You know, I'm about to tell y'all my story on the making of my independent album, Reintroduction. You know what I mean? I'm trying to talk a little low, so if you got to turn the volume up a little bit, please do so. Bear with me. It's late night, but this is like the only time I really get a chance to, do my content. I'm a family man. I'm a father all day. I'm, dealing with the kids and all that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let me break it down to y'all. So for y'all who don't know me, you know what I mean? I go by the name of Doe Streets. You know what I'm saying? In the streets of Philly, particularly Southwest Philly. You know what I mean? Everybody know me. You know what I mean? From back in the day, I was a part of a group called FU, Forever United. You know what I mean? We this was like early 2000s, 2000, 2001. You know what I mean? We started off Third World because we from 53rd and Greenway. You know what I mean? Woodland and Greenway. Um, yeah, we started off as Third World, and my guys got together. We created this group called FU. We had management. Shout out to my homie Gary. You know what I mean? That's still big bro to this day. Chase, shout out to Chase. That's big bro. You know what I mean? My homie Tyrone. Ron was my man from school, from West. You know, my first year in West, me and Ron just got tight, and he always believed in me. See, around that time, I wasn't really you know spitting my rhymes like that in the streets. Like my ninth grade year, it was Ty that heard my shit one time. You know what I mean? It was like, bro, you hot? Like, what are you doing? And he, he basically, I ain't gonna say he pushed me, but he kind of, you know what I mean, confirmed that, yo, you hot, nigga, spit that shit. He got me my first battle inside of West Philadelphia High with the kid LP. He used to rap back in the day. He was well known in West Philly. I murdered him. After that, niggas couldn't tell me shit. So that whole year, that's when I was in the streets, hit the streets, rapping against niggas, you know what I mean? Take down, shout out to all them dudes. I'm up there, 58th and Greenway, just like rapping every day, battling niggas. But that's the past. I'm just giving y'all, of how you know, how everything started. So, I ran across like dudes that was from my neighborhood, Big Poe and Ski. They was Deuces Wild. They from 52nd. You know what I mean? 52nd, Woodland and Greenway and all that. You know what I mean? But them dudes took me under their wing. Me, Twiz, my homie Lodge, you know what I'm saying? But Poe and Ski, they was already dealing with like record labels, you know what I'm saying? They had deals on the table, you know what I mean? Contracts and shit like that. Like, yeah, they was that was around the time Major Figures and Beanie Siegel just came into the game. You know what I mean? So everybody was looking for a record deal. But, me, I'm like 14 to 15 at that time. I got thrown a contract from a guy named C's. C's had connections with, I think it was Junior Mafia, somebody like that. He had a club on 52nd and Woodland, you know what I'm saying? He had that club for a minute. And, he had parts of, if I'm mistaken, Major Figures, Rick Lowe, shout out to him. Rick Lowe was dealing with him, but dude was major. He was a heavy bull, but long story short, he ended up getting indicted, and that was like the last time I heard from him. But he was really feeling me. You know what I mean? Feeling me and my team because he heard our tape. You know what I mean? We used to rap over tapes and pass them out through the hood. You know what I mean? So he heard the tape. He liked what he heard. And you know what I mean? He used to invite us. I was a youngin', man. He used to invite us. He had a strip club upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Man, come spit for these girls. I mean, these girls walking around. I don't even want to say, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was around. I was in the streets at a young age, and I always had like a beard. So a lot of people thought I was older than what I actually was. And I remember my mom was like, "You ain't ready to sign no record deal, this, that." And my mom didn't trust everybody. Rest in peace to her. She ain't trust everybody, and she just knew. You know what I mean? She knew. You know what I mean? Not to say that, like, if they would have put some money on the table, my mom would have been like, go ahead, boy, sign that contract. But she just was basically on some be careful type stuff. Like, you know what I mean? And stay in school. I want you to stay in school. You know what I mean? I didn't understand it back then, but, I thank my mom for a lot of stuff. She just had that wisdom with her, and everybody loved her. But, fast forward, we ended up putting, a couple mixtapes out. Hood Legend Volume 1, Hood Legend Volume 2. I can't remember if we put out Volume 3, but I know we had a whole album done. The album was crazy, man. We had an album finished, and we would hit different cities and shit like that. We had songs playing on radio, Power 99, that was big. You know what I mean? Dudes calling home from CFCF like, yo, going crazy, couldn't wait till Friday night because they would air our shit on Friday night, play our music. You know what I mean? So I met a lot of people on the come up, but as time went on, you know what I mean, we got older. Everybody started separating and doing their own thing. You know what I mean? So, I ended up having a son. Then I ended up having another son right behind that. And Lodge ended up, I believe, going to the Air Force. Twiz, he ended up, doing his own thing. Boss ended up moving out of the city, so it was just me. It was just me. So I was rapping for a minute. After a while, I just chilled, man. I was in the streets. I was in the streets. I was getting into trouble, and it felt like my life was just going down, going down. Next thing you know, the street shit going on in the streets and shit. You know what I mean? Like, shit was just crazy. Niggas dying around me. Niggas going to jail. And I was like, yo, something gotta change, man. And you know, I got with my lady. I knew my lady forever. You know what I'm saying? Since we was kids. But me and her ended up getting together like in 2014. You know what I mean? She wanted me to come stay with her. She was like, yo, she was afraid of all the stuff that was going on around me. She was just afraid for me and my safety. You know what I'm saying? She was like, I want you to, come stay with me if you don't mind. And that was, she was always my friend. That's my heart. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. You know what I mean? And that was the best decision I ever made in my life because, I never looked back. And I always told myself, like, you know what I mean? From then on, I'm like, this is going to be the lady I marry. And I ended up doing that. And that's when I fast forward to the year 2021, which was the best year of my life, was also the worst year of my life. You know what I'm saying? It was the worst year of my life because I lost my mother. I lost my mother, you know what I'm saying? My mom. I lost her that year like unexpectedly. It was COVID going around, you know what I'm saying? I broke my ankle that year, but I got married that year. I put out my album that year, my first independent album, and that's what I'm gonna get into. I put out my album, broke my ankle, my mom passed, got married. That year was the most money I ever made in my life. You know what I mean? Now I made six figures, the past 2 years before that, you know what I'm saying, doing my own thing. Made six, everything legal too. Made six figures. Um, I think it was 2017, 2018. I don't think in 2019, but 2020 and 2021. But 2021, you know, cleared over six figures. So, it was the best year of my life. You know what I mean, everything was going smooth. Like the year 2020, I'm gonna wind it a little bit. 2020 is when I decided to, you know what, everything is going so well in my life. Let me do what I always wanted to do, and that was to put out an independent album. I started working. Called my homegirl up, Star. Shout out to Star Chuji. You know what I'm saying? She's she dug in with Gilly and Batcave and all them. You know what I'm saying? I hit her up because I needed to get in touch with Rug. Now everybody that know Rug down at Batcave, he don't work with just anybody, but I know Rug from back in the day, and I know I couldn't just walk up on it. You know what I'm saying? He's booked. He record for Meek Mill, Gilly, everybody. You know what I mean? So I asked Star to holler at him, and he remembered. And that was love. That he was like, "Yeah, man, come down and record," because you know what I mean. Like I said, he's not just that accessible to people. You got to know somebody. You know what I mean. They get up in there. So I started. I wanted to record. I wanted that sound. He's one of the best engineers in the city, if not the best. Him and Don Groove. Shout out to Don Groove. You know what I'm saying? These is guys I recorded with in the early 2000s, but I didn't see them in years. They didn't know what I was doing, you know what I mean? So, I went in there and I just started recording, started snapping, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that worked with me on Reintroduction. Shout out to everybody. I'm sorry if this sound long-winded because y'all want to get to it, but I said all that to say, Reintroduction is so special to me because when it's I put all my everything into the album. Money wise, I invested over $35,000, close to $40,000 into that album. And when I tell people this, they like, "Oh, you bugging? You could have did this and did that." Man, listen, there's no price on your art when you're not really looking for anything back. I never was thinking about how much money I'm going to make back after doing the album. And I was well aware that, albums not selling like that anymore. People was in this making singles, dropping singles, and that's the new thing and doing the streams. I didn't care about that. I come from the album era, putting out dope albums. You know what I'm saying? And as an independent artist, I didn't have no label. I had to become my own label. So I called my label. I got my LLC. You know what I mean? Called it Woke and Ready. And I operated everything under that. Shout out to Curtis Fennell. He's like one of the executive producers of my album. Asking everything's legit. When he got that check in the mail that said Woke and Ready LLC, and he got that check, I ain't gonna tell y'all how much it was, but asking. You know what I mean? He was like, "Yo, this dude is for real, yeah." Couple dudes got checks in the mail, Woke and Ready. You know what I mean? That's my label. You know what I mean? You shout out to Skinny Pop. He was still booked at the time. He'd tell you. You know what I'm saying? He got, you know, points off the album, which wasn't much because I didn't sell much. But I say all that to say I did everything the right way. Even to this day, people that, some of the features, couple guys I hit off a couple dollars. I mean, shout out to Enes, shout out to Reed Dollars. You know what I mean? I got these dudes on the album because these my guys from Southwest Phillies back in the day. Like it's all love. I even gave them points on the album. So if my album, that's the beauty of doing an independent album that you own. See, let's say today, just by me doing this video, I post this and it just go viral and everybody go listen to this album and stream this album. Y'all gonna hear for yourself. This album is dope. It's a classic. And I'm not just saying that because it's me. That's the beauty of it because Now it can just blow up. And guess what? All those guys I gave points and half of points to, they're gonna get a check. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just that type of dude. Rewind, my homie Tyrone Nolan. He didn't really, you know what I mean? He didn't really have input into this album that I did. But guess what? I gave him points on this album because he was an inspiration in my life. You know what I'm saying? He was an inspiration into my life that led me up to even doing this album. Yeah. So he got points. If I was to ever do 50 numbers out of the blue, 50 Cent numbers, and sell 13 million copies or stream 13 million, whatever, however that happens by some miracle, because anything's possible because it's on all platforms. Let's just say that happened. He's a millionaire. You know what I mean? He's going to eat the rest of his life off that. You know what I'm saying? Enes, he's going to be a millionaire. You know what I mean? Off of the one song we did. We Dollar, he's going to be a million because that's how I play. You know what I mean? And I did everything the right way. I was watching an old interview back in the day when 50 Cent, speaking to him, he got on and Shy Money, the dude he was down with, he was like, yo, I think 50 Cent got the check from Eminem for like a million. So he see that. He asked 50 Cent for $50,000 and that's it. That's all he wanted. 50 said, let me give you 30,000 and a point. He didn't know what a point meant. You know what I'm saying? He wanted the 50,000 up front. So 50 like, all right, 50 was trying to explain to him. You know what I'm saying? They went to the lawyer, boom, boom, boom. The lawyer like, no, take the 30 and the point. He asked 50 to leave the room so he can talk to him. Like, nigga, if you want, I'll take the point and I'll give you 20,000 for it. But when he broke down, he took the point. You know what I mean? That just shows you, like, as black people coming from the struggle, sometimes when you don't have anything, that 50,000 seem like a whole lot of money. You know what I mean? I take 50,000 right now, easy. But I want to sell my catalog, my whole catalog for 50,000 because I know what I put into it and I know what it meant to me. You know what I mean? I'm talking about as far as production, studio time, videos, features, promotion, everything that I did. Yeah, it cost me close to $40,000. You know what I mean? To get the best sound in the city. You know what I'm saying? I recorded where your favorite rappers record at. Engineer for your favorite rappers, the Meek Mills and everybody in Philly, dudes that came to Philly, Rick Ross, all them dudes. Yeah, the same guy that engineered my album. You know what I mean? The reintroduction by Those Streets. Go stream that album, man. This is the first time I'm talking about this like that because I just felt the need. Something came over me tonight and like, yo, talk about your album. That's something that you did that meant so much to you. And I was going through so much, man. I'm telling you, man. Like I'm getting emotional talking about it. I was losing my mother, man. I lost my mom April 3rd. And I couldn't stop though. My mom wouldn't want me to stop. I couldn't stop recording. I had to finish the project. I got married April 24th. 24th. It was so crazy because my mother wasn't there. And my mother loved my wife because she seen my wife grow up. Like, you know what I mean? She was there in spirit, but she wasn't there physically. So I got all this stuff going on. My album set to come out in July. You know what I'm saying? It was so much going on. And you can, if you listen to that album, yo, reintroduction, you would feel you would feel the energy of all the emotions I was going through. And that's not the only album I did that year. I also did a group album called The Coldest Winter Ever, uh, um, with Big Poe and Ski and Twiz, The Campaign, Old Head. You know what I'm saying? That same year, we ended up dropping that out. So I was working. Man. It was a hell of a year, and I love my brothers, man. I love uh um you know Big Poe and all them because they was there to support me at a time that I had to stay strong. I was, so sad in the inside, like just wanted to cry sometimes in the studio. And, after losing my mom and going through all the stuff that I was going through. Hold on. After going through everything I was going through, I had to pause it just to show y'all this right here. This is something that I got for my guys. They still ain't even come pick this up. The campaign, because I felt like we got to reward ourselves. And I always felt like that. Ain't nobody else going to do this for y'all. Y'all got to do it for yourselves. So this mic, you know what I mean? These belong to these guys. Twiz, I got 5 more of these. One for me and another one for each and everybody in the group, man. Each person in the group. And I still got them for these guys. When I get a chance, they gonna get them. But that's the work, and for our work that we put in, man. Nobody else acknowledged it. You know what I mean? We acknowledged each other. Southwest, the real ones, they appreciated what real music is, man, and they definitely support it. I wish I could have kept going and went further and did some shows and stuff like that. But I think once I completed the album, I think I just was like, yes, it was something inside of me like, yo, you ain't got to do no more. Just fall back. You're gonna get yours in the long run, and I believe that to this day. To this day, you know what I mean? That's like a lottery ticket in a vault. You know what I mean? That album, because it meant so much to me. And I'm not saying that just to be saying it because it's mine. It's one of the greatest independent albums that you will ever hear, especially coming out of the city of Philadelphia. It's real music, man. It's real music. Reintroduction meant so much to me. I recorded like, I think 4 videos off that album. 10 tracks of fire. 10 tracks. That's all I wanted to do. And I did more songs after that. You know what I'm saying? I got more heat after that because I was gonna do a part 2. But I think I just was like, you know what I mean? You ain't even gotta do that. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. And I'm just here to tell y'all, man, the reintroduction album meant so much to me in 2021. It still means a lot to me. You know what I mean? It's on YouTube right now, the whole album. Type in Doe Streets. You know what I mean? Look at the thumbnail. DOESTREETZ. You know what I'm saying? It, it meant a lot to me, man. It's a rough year. 2021 was a hell of a year for me, man. For real. I still feel the effects. You know what I'm saying? I still feel the effects. I just, I feel like I just did everything right. And you can hear it within my voice, the energy from that album, you can hear it. And if that album ever blow, everybody that worked with me, they blow. You know what I'm saying? They blow because they got points. Like a lot of them don't even know that they got points on the album. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the type of guy I am, man. I don't play no games, man. For real. If you watch this whole video to the end, to right now, I appreciate y'all so much, man. Y'all my family. I love y'all. I really love y'all, man. I had to get this off my chest and talk about that, though. Y'all be safe out there. Enjoy the month of Ramadan, man. May you have a prosperous Ramadan. And, may Allah be with you. And, just keep me in y'all prayers. You know what I mean? Spoken Ready TV. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. All the Muslims out there. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and love.